my goodness. Okay, hello guys, I am back once again, and as you can see, the game is actually working now. I had a little bit of a computer malfunction. I had to shut down my entire laptop and redo all of this. So sadly, you guys are probably not going to be able to see like the beginning of this trial again, but I'm not going to go back and do the rest of it because that took a while. So we're just going to continue on from here. I'm really, really, really sorry for the inconvenience, I should say. Very, very sorry. Please forgive me and don't crucify me, please. Or, I mean, well, what's life without having a few haters in there? But yes, I messed up big time. So, let us continue on here. Oh boy. Reading as these guys is super, super hard. Okay. But once we got inside, core blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that. Nice and quiet. I don't believe that at all. A terrible coincidence it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door was providing access to the storeroom from the main shop. The providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within the only the victim and the accused were found. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit frustrated after what just happened, because I just lost about like a good 23 minutes of my footage, so I'm kind of salty about that. But bounce back. It's almost like putting lipstick on a pig. It may not be pretty, but we're gonna make it work. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Reno? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. My man said my jaw dropped at the amount of lies that there were here. So, cross-examining time. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gas door was ajar. Let's see. You heard a gunshot from the back room? You guys fired a gunshot. Hold it! Hold it! A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, governor. I can swear to that. It was Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we could say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful! Just great. Good for you. Okay. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. We took nothing. We just left all nice and quiet. That's a fat lie right there. Gina's paperwork. Can I expose them for this? Because technically they, Hold it! You didn't do or take anything? Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out. Lucky lockets. Or Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say? That's right, governor. Nothing... I cannot read as these guys. It's so hard. Nothing we ate more than violets. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not vultures. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So you clearly like us to believe. Eh? Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! They fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway? It was. Ha! Busted! Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. At London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes! You shot my other senpai! And you will pay. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when we searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Oh! Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed, remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. I still love that guy with the rat. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. So their gun. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to your successful presenting the evidence. For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection.
Oh, you want proof, honey? Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there. I got these eyes. These eyes are my evidence.
Objection.
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. You better be lucky they're not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windybanks that night. Oh, I got evidence, all right. The evidence is in here.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, counsel? During the course of our investigation, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do their job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Dude, don't do there. Well, anyways, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence. You claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? What I got is this.
Take that!
What is that? Explain! It's a photographic print taken at Windybank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, it is? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that there's credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. Yeah! Good pose, guys. Good pose. Orator! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? Delicious. Okay, so he really has nothing to say. He's just gonna sip his wine. If that's the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. Huh? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Good sir, you're going to start a fire in this courthouse. We already had one, we can't have another. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbroker illegally. And like the bold baddies they claimed to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back to the street. Eh? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us on the soup. We had a deal. You weren't going to get into them details. Tell him, Skulky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zeeks? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot is found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and the victim. Ah! In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. That's it. We did have nothing to do with it. Their faces. Honestly, Ringo looks like me whenever I get food. Whenever anybody says, hey, you want some food? That's me in the corner. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? We're in for it now, bruv. Yep, you totally are, for shooting Sholmes. Honestly, I should kill you myself. How dare you shoot my senpai and get away with it? I will have your head on a platter. Let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man's patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where is he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What's that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic print contraction. Okay, I'm not going to say photographic print. It has the appearance of a camera, basically. That's what we're just going to say. As your lordship has summarized, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. 8 p.m., 8:30, 9 p.m., 9:30. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite distillery fashion. Rather prodigal, if I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. So there was one pointing at the counter and one pointing near the entrance. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Heh, that's a bit of fair tuck, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves a skulkin'. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just got 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment, what scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord! Oh, well, that looks bad. Yikes. It's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Well, hey, wait a minute, she didn't do anything, she's just holding the gun. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured gun in hand facing the victim over the shop counter, no doubt coaxing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Or maybe she's just holding the gun to look cool. Quite! One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. The photographic print of Gina. Oh, well, this is just great. This is just great. Gina, why? Gina, why? Oh, the picture of the cat. Hey, cat. Kitty. Kitty. I don't believe it. Jenny. In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly killed Mr. Windybank. Ah! I say, my lord. Dang, it's over, y'all. It's over before we even got started. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand? The Battle of Maiwand. 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced into retirement from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carrying on to the battlefield after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading the small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together. You mark my words. One for all and all for one. Well, this is just great. This is good. This is just great. Perfect. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached an agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadeb Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too late to make a judge appear. Status report from the court, men. On the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions, too. I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
This old man has been talking about leaving something inside of something? That sounds oddly suggestive. Huh. Suggestivism. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning on this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Oh, the grandpa, he headbutted. Oh, because he is a doctor who's trying not to get his hands dirty. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, this defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. So you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. How unsurprising of you to be drinking wine again. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Abso-bally-lutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Again, I apologize for the horrible accents that you're going to hear. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketing. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores properly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. If I've left it in there, I should think there should be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop. In motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. So you are obviously Russian. That's horrible to say, but Russian. I actually like the Russian language. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. The strong room locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone, and in the accused hands, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention, this print! Take it from a chap who's seen action in the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling up the bally trigger. That's not true. She could just be holding it just to look cool, like I've said before. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. Sorry, Iris, but Sholmes is known for hindering, honey. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketing. Actually, I'll start pressing them one by one and let's see.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsumi's landlord, Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore, you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Ryunosuke, stop. Honestly, you're me. I try to negotiate around things a lot. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadeb house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tendencies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did a rather lot, but not for us. That's for dashed certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial, unless to juror number 2. Oh, he's paying attention to her? Dude. He is looking at her. I didn't notice that. He's glancing at her. Dude, you're married, and you are married. And your wife is crazy. She's gonna kill you when you get home. And he's blushing. My god, dude. Okay, juror number 2, how do you feel? Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpursers, and crossmen. The scum of the earth. Ow, lady. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we'd have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading the Randless magazine between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid? Huh, that makes me imagine Sholmes in a maid outfit. It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail. It was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. You are just a doll, aren't you? Well, it might be an idea to get our facts straight anyways. Yes, alright, I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. Can I pit this against this guy?
Objection!
Gotcha! Those 2 statements are clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself! Oh my statement? Contradictory? It's the same, dude, same! Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. I love him so much. No, don't go to her. I'm not paying attention to her, I'm paying attention to you. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely, you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir? Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Ah! Here's word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English, I am Russian. Oh, you say in plain English, I'm Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? Me, because this man has a cool looking mouse and he's cute. He's awesome. I like this guy. So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done nothing, but truth is, they shot detective. Duh, this is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who look like criminal. Dude, don't strangle the mouse just because you're mad. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now! It's... not the mouse's fault, though, sir. Exactly! I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily. Sorry? With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. If you compare the prints in that picture, if you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Gooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken. Hey, wait a minute, I saw that. Wait a minute, hold on. I saw that. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. Oh, but I saw something. So the brothers who look like criminals only told one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good! You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it's very important we continue with trial. Hey, good man, thank you. Yay, well done, Bruno, the balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose, but there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff, to be filed as evidence. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. You must find the truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. Okay, so we got the Russian guy on our side. Hey! I'm gonna skip over all this because whenever you finally get to like the end of all the statements, it just like gives you a summation. Dude, stop looking at the maid! Leave the maid alone! Hold it! I didn't want to listen to this because this has no thing. Shush! Shut your face, lady! I want to look at you. What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ooh, how'd you know? Yeah, how did we know? It's not like this man is going cross-eyed every 5 seconds. Let's call it a lucky guess. Never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope here is to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention our world has ever seen. If only you can give me a new perspective on this case, I might actually agree with you. Old man, I don't think you're talking about anything important. What about you?
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. Hehehe. Aw, Iris. Oh, look at that face. Oh, look at her face. But cables will soon be a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up, radio transmission is future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Uh-oh. Oh, this guy looks pissed. Oh, he looks pissed. Excuse me. Juror number 3? Sorry to interrupt. You're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess? Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on! I dare you! Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. Yeah, what a great way to calm the dude down. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no particular use at all. You just don't know! Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from the crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you would never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Reno? Any prints we could look at? Yes, we do! How about this print here? This should do the trick.
Take that!
Photograph Gina. Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying that you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera and Windy Banks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer, do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the position of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together in your head, you'll notice the shift as if they were depth. Yes, exactly! It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So, what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyways. Oh! Of course! Now I see!
Ah! I think the young girl has discovered the secret!
I have!
Iris, can you please uncross your eyes? Frickin' derp. Derp! My god, I love Iris so much. Look at that face! Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on! Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them?
Well, let me just see. Hold on. Let me cross my eyes real quick. Okay. Aha! I got it. I saw it. I saw it 100%. Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second, guys. A little bit of inconvenience. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just got a phone call from my mom. Yay. Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Ryunosuke!
Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. Which I just did. It's obvious once you see it, like, it's like there, I can see it. Let's see, if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly?
Yep, I did. Ah! What's going on with these two pictures? Yep.
Some of the things at the counter they jump out at you.
Even the judge! Even Judge Seeks! Yes, that's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic? I love it. Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter just seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at the two identical pictures using a stereoscope, without using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see the pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Man, this is awesome. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But what the devil does the shift between the two prints exist? Or why the devil does these shifts between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What, me? I have the first idea. Yes, you do.
You know, Bruno, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, this one was taken, but the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter.
Zookers!
Someone tampered? New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop.
Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems, but I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in the summation examination now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know that the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for this almost
Yep, we know it's one of these two buttholes.
It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers.
Wait! This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My phrasebook says dukes is meaning hands, and Lucy lockets meaning pockets. But this is another lie? Is this what you are saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now hold there a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing the gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend has indicated, that she was coaxing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing: the Skulkin brothers having omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick purse, common gutter trash. Why look for any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are the thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pick purse. I believe that the brothers were simply looking for something on the victim's counter last night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she is a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said! I, for one, would like to hear more from this shady pair. One headbutt for not guilty!
Can you all see now? I think you'll find that stereoscopes are plain things. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand.
Even him, he's joining in.
Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Shop.
Oh, she's gonna buy a stereoscope now? Nice.
Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean for guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus.
And I order this trial to continue.
Yay! Well done! Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. So we got the stereoscope. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Yay, we're gonna keep on going, and senpai. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least, and I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. And we did it, guys! Wow. Whew, that was a lot of reading, and that was also a lot of me talking and flapping my gums. So,
I believe we're just gonna call this here for today because, well, your girl has been through a lot, and having to deal with the fact that my stream actually stopped working and I had to refigure everything, that kind of made me a little bit panicked and a little bit kind of stressed. So I think this is a good time for us to stop here, and in the next episode, we're gonna get the Skulkin brothers. So I will see you guys in the next stream. Have a good day, stay sweet, stay awesome, and goodbye.